What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Swiss Life of TV. I am Poetry. You are here for another recap and review. This is Power Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 7. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm kind of doing that right now, reintroducing myself, because I've been out sick for the past week. Had some swollen noids all up in this joint. And I'm just getting my voice fully back, but then we're going to roll on with these videos as best as possible. We pick up right where we left off last week, where Unique is standing in the kitchen, grilled down, cashmere sweater, got his old Bill Cosby sweater on, eating some pecan ice cream, the butter pecan, not pecan. That annoys me when I hear people say pecan. It's pecan. It's only one E, P-E, and then the vowel follows later, which makes it a short E, pecan, not pecan. Okay, anyway, he tell her that he thinks that her and Kanan got together with Ronnie, and they made Ronnie try to do what they couldn't do, which was to take him out. First mistake, okay? See, he still assumes that they use Ronnie to do their bidding. Like, they convinced this man, the brother, that he knows his brother. He knows Ronnie wasn't easily convinced by anybody. But he believes in his demented mind that Ronnie was convinced by Rock and Kanan, a 16-year-old, to take him out. She's like, the fuck you mean? What do you mean? I have not done anything to you, Unique. Baby, the way he flung that ice cream across the room. Next thing we know, he had her hemmed up by the wall, a tight hand on her shoulder with a shiny brand new gat right in her face. Now, Rock, I was like, girl, you usually stay ready. You done let your guard down one too many times for this man. And now he is there threatening your life with a gun in your face in your home, right? He say, stop lying. Stop freaking lying. I ain't high post nor DEFCON. That makes me assume that she had something to do with both of them going down. Now, somehow in my mind, in my demented mind, I keep mixing up DEFCON and High Post. I keep assuming they are the same person. They're not. Okay? But it's because the way Rock tells her past that gives me this confusion. Now, I remember season 1 when we started off, we learned that she was dating the dude High Post then. High Post was the guy that was at the card table when Kanan ran in after getting his butt beat at the playground. Okay, and then a year later, High Post had snitched on, I think it was on Ronnie, and then he ended up getting killed. Well, High Post was supposed to be the one that introduced her to the game. That's what they said in season 1. I had to watch that back to make sure I wasn't tripping. But the way Rock tells it, Rock been hustling since she was 16 with Kanan in her belly. Well, when she was 16, she was dating grown-ass DEFCON. Okay? DEFCON turned out to be a homosexual, but still, at the particular time, back in the day, nobody knew that. So he was using this 16-year-old as his beard. Now, the way that they explain the story, High Post was not High Post, DEFCON was a big-time kingpin. But he did not allow Rock to get in the game because she was pregnant. That's the way that they explain that story. However, when Howard found out that Kanan was his, remember, he researched the records of DEFCON, and at the time DEFCON got locked up, Kanan wasn't even born yet. He wasn't even conceived, which made Howard realize ain't no way he could be Kanan daddy, because he was in jail at the time that Rock got pregnant, and he died in jail. Okay, but he supposedly kept her off the streets. He didn't want to have her involved in the game. So Rock's story about been hustling since Kanan was in her belly don't add up. They changed it a lot throughout this show. And I told y'all, as long as I keep watching and I start getting annoyed with characters and I get annoyed with storylines, I start picking out stuff like, it ain't making sense to me. Okay? But anyway, she keeps swearing to him. She swore on her child that she had nothing to do with Unique's attempted demise. But he insisted he ain't stupid and he know better. Okay. Look, I'm still looking for her sister Deborah. And I'm still trying to figure out why ain't nobody found Scrap Mama yet. Okay. Anywho, while Unique got her hemmed up in the house, the New Jersey dudes have came to town. Okay. Act boy out here looking like Big Papa, like Chris Wallace and stuff. They have commuted all the way from Trenton, New Jersey, the 85 miles, and they about to incite a little hostile takeover. They say that everybody on these streets of New York about to know that they belong to Unique, right? So they jumping out of vehicles and they posting up in places that ain't nobody at. Okay, no hustlers, not even any fiends. But Unique did say initially that he was going to move on the blocks that she didn't have, that they weren't occupied away. That's what he had told, Russo. So anyway, Unique, he ain't convinced over what Rock is saying. He don't care how much she say she had nothing to do with it. He ain't hearing her. Matter of fact, he's like, Stefano must be in on it too. Okay? Rock say, come on now. It's me, Charles. It's me. Now she was like, bruh, you and me, we had something together. We had something special, something you could freaking feel, right? He said all he could feel was her stabbing him in his ribs and then lying to his face. Now they should have wrote that better, because the phrase is somebody stabbing me in my back while smiling in my face. That's the phrase. But okay, they switched it up. But Rock was terrified. I have never seen her this terrified in any episode. Even when she was out there in the Catskills shooting and about to lose her son, she didn't seem this terrified. Even when they busted in her house when her and Unique was in there together and they shot up her crib, she still didn't seem this terrified, right? She's terrified as shit right now. And she's trying her best to explain to him. And he all in her face with all the extra flying spittle coming out his mouth. The grill ain't holding it back. Stop fucking lying is what he tell her, right? I've seen it all. I was there when you took my brother out. You took out my brother. You took out Howard. Because you was tying up loose ends like you always do, right? And Kanan, he skipped out of there with you hand in hand singing Fa La La. Okay? So I'm taking it all back from you starting tonight. So the New Jersey dudes finally found another corner, and at least this time they rolled up where some little naughty heads on the corner, right? But the little naughty heads just took off. I'm used to young thumpers, okay? I'm like, what the fuck? You ain't finna push me off my corner. You ain't finna push me off my sack. Especially without no pushback. I mean, they got out flashing they gats and everything, but they supposed to be strapped too. They the ones that's on the street. They didn't say nothing to them. Wasn't no words exchanged. If this was The Wire, I still ain't finished watching all The Wire. I gotta watch the final season. But if this was The Wire, they would be banging or thanging. One of those two. Rock whole team is weak as fuck to me. She has surrounded herself with buffoons. But I think Rock realized during the conversation that Unique was not about to pull the trigger on her, because he kept talking. Kept yapping off at the mouth. So she tried to get into his head. You ain't rap too tight, my boy. You got it all wrong. Besides, Stefano, he got my back. So if he got my back, you fuck with me, you fucking with him. Okay? So then she gets a text. And Unique like, go on, get that. That's about me. Go on, get that. And I'm like, how would anybody know? Because ain't nobody on the street saying anything. They just hopped out the vans and occupied space. Ain't no conversations being had. How is anybody knowing that this is Unique doing this? Okay, but right when he said it, it clicked for Rock that he's the one that's been hitting up all her spot. He said he wanted to take his time, okay? Put a hurting on each one of them individually. Rock say, nah, that ain't what you doing. It's because whoever's backing you, they scared of Stefano. But Unique done been dead. And now he gonna get his life watching her fall down. And then he gonna kill her. That's what he tell him. So first of all, he gonna start off soft and slow is what he said. And then he gonna make it around her and give it to her raw and in her face just like she like it. The Rock, you little dirty bitch. Then he said, oh, and your old boy, Mr. Coffee, I hope y'all wasn't planning a family or nothing like that. He had to take an early vacation. And I was like, Mr. Coffee. Well, he called him Mr. Coffee because when Unique saw them together, they was outside of the coffee shop. Rock say, who, my lawyer? He said the judge, the jury, the executioner, whatever you fucking call him. Anybody who you give a fuck about, they gonna get it. I was trying to do just like he did. So anyway, Rock called a little Ponderosa and let the family know, hey, Unique is alive, okay? Alive. And Kanan said, wait a minute, this nigga's supposed to be dead. They said his head was spattered all over the floor of the tailor shop. And then, you know, cops say anything. Cops say anything. So Marvin say, you must be dreaming. But Rock said, no, he is alive and in living color. They finally put two and two together and realized that he is the one that hit up both of the Chinese connections and Dre. You gotta be, they can't be this stupid to not think that he's the one that hit up Kanan. Crystal said the dude had scars all over his face, but they don't even consider that. They don't even talk about that. At least you ask, you think this nigga did fame? Okay. Why did he take you out though, Rock? That's the big question. And tell the truth, Rock. Go and tell him. Go and tell Kanan that I was smashing him. And we had feelings, you know, something special there. Okay. But now he trying to fuck me with no Vaseline. But she didn't say none of that. She didn't say none of that. Marvin like, we hitting this nigga back. And Rock like, no, we not. We gonna chill out. We need to know who he rocking with. Well, truth be told, he did all of his dirty work, everything he did against y'all, way before he had a backer though, Rock, for real. I mean, you don't know that, but we know that. And they don't mention at all about the corner boys being replaced at this particular time. I feel like Kanan right now. Detail Rock, you supposed to be good at this shit. But still, shit's still getting fucked up. You ain't even taking care of your people. They getting hit and you doing nothing. And you never have, right? So she go on this rant about how he's still breathing because of her. That's her most infamous words, but she always got to keep reminding him, you breathing, nigga, because of me. And I was like, well, Rock, wasn't nobody trying to kill him until you, okay? You had him shoot Howard, then you feared for his life. But Howard wasn't going after him because Howard just wanted to have a son after his leukemia miraculously disappeared. He wasn't in danger when it came to him. He wasn't in danger when it came to Ronnie. That was his partner. The kidnapping, Kanan set that up himself with Ronnie. You got played in that situation. So for the most part, what you're saying ain't true. The only thing that you really saved it from is when y'all was out there in the Catskills. If there was another time, y'all remind me. Put it in the comment section. But yeah, out there in the Catskills, that's when his life was threatened. But that still was because of you. Still. Marvin tried to check him like, hey, watch your fucking mouth. You need to learn how to talk to your mom. You know what I'm saying? Go have get that belt and beat that ass. Kanan say, no, Unc. She need to watch what the fuck she's saying to us. Okay, we out here getting our asses handed to her and she handed to us, and that's all she want to do is lay the fuck down and take it. Okay, that don't make you feel safe. I know it don't. So Rock tell him, look, you need to be listening more and talking less. And when you do talk, all you need to say is fucking thank you, because again, I'm the person, I'm the reason for you breathing. And Kanan said, thank you. Thank you for fucking everything up like you always do. And he bounced. Roll, bounce, Yeah, that's what he did. He rolled out of there. Juke say, Kanan grown, which he not, but that's what she say. He grown. And then Mark said, well, what the fuck we supposed to do about his goddamn mouth? She said, listen to it. I mean, I do think y'all should at least take in what he's saying, because he really was saying the same thing that Mark was saying, but Rock think that she the only one to know how to do this shit, okay? Anyway, at the same time, Lou made it over to the house, considering Marvin was holding that bag of English muffins, and when Kanan walked out, And then we see him again, and Lou is there. He just now putting the jelly or the jam on the English muffin. So, just a few moments had passed. The conversation is still about Unique. And we do talk about, at this time, that he is hitting up the corners. And he just getting started. And Marvin's like, what the hell you mean? If this is him just getting started, why the fuck are we sitting on our hands? I don't understand. So she stressed the same thing over and over again. We need to know who is backing him. If he going after us, he got to have some heat behind him like we do, right? And I was trying to figure out, why is Lou there? Lou not in the game no more. Lou said he was only coming back and making an exception for Fame. But since Unique think that all of them set him up, he like, oh, this nigga gotta go. Okay, he need to be dead again. Marvin is like, baby bro, you back in the game. Welcome back. Okay, welcome back. Lou let him know if he fucking with the family, he got to go. He gonna have to come through me first. Well, Rock insists that somebody is holding Unique back. Lou say, tell that to Andre Coffee Barnes. Okay. He took him out. So Unique is at the crib trying to get Pernessa up to speed. He rolled up on her earlier. She was walking through the yard and she dropped her bag of groceries at this gate that wasn't there before. There was no gate there before. And she somehow can't remember how to open her fucking gate. And she dropped her bag of groceries and this orange rolled up to his feet. And she was just fucking shocked. And the lady hopped up on him like, oh, Unique, you know what I'm saying? And so now they in the house and he's explaining to her what the hell has been happening and how he ended up where he was at. And she made the error of saying, Rock and Ronnie, nah, I can't see that happening. Unique came up out his motherfucking soul. He did the Ike on Tina Turner on that ass, right? I was surprised that she got him to calm down. But once he did, he told her, pack, because it's about to get ugly. They about to move, okay? And then Juke was like, you think he coming for us? She talking to Kanan. And he was like, well, I was thinking, why would they include you, Juke? You ain't never been an issue for Unique. But Kanan say he ain't worried about him either. You ain't thinking that this is the person that hit you up? I still don't understand that. But he's like, he been back for months and he ain't did anything to us, okay? How y'all know how long Unique been back? He just popped up out of nowhere. Well, he been dead. But you don't know he's been back for months. You just know he was alive for months. Anyway, he tell her he need her. Okay, you are natural at rocking heads, right? Besides, he put money aside to do his own thing. And the first Juke was like, nah, I ain't got nobody's side. I'm only in it for fame. That's about it. But when he mentioned doing his own thing, it did pique her interest a little bit. Like I said, Juke said she only worried about fame. But if it was the police, somebody had to put a hit out on them. Somebody had to pay the police to do it. Somebody in these streets. Because again, to me, it don't make sense that the police would take out fame. Because there was no dirty cops that he had information on. And that's the story that they were selling. So Kanan went to go find out. Kanan said, well, okay, we gonna find out who did it, and then we gonna bring it back to the streets, okay? So Rock decided to go pay Snaps and Pops a visit, find out what they know. This was odd to me. Why would you be going to them? This is the first time that they heard anything that Unique was alive, but they agreed he ain't moving like this unless he got a backer like Rock has, because of all. What was I thinking? He ain't moving. Unique ain't moving the way he used it unless he got a backer like Rock got. Okay. Everything that he had been thinking about them, it gives them reason to believe that he do have a backer, right? And it sounds like something that Rock would do. So they tell her, you need to go directly to Stefano. And if he's supposed to be your partner, I don't know why you ain't went there first, Rock. It throws me off, right? Well, she tried to get them locked in to help out, like, we all in this together. And they like, what the fuck? We ain't rocking with you. We with Kanan. How many times we got to keep reminding you of that, right? So since Marvin said that everybody can get it, they like, okay, well, thanks for the warning. Shit. Well, Stefano tell them if it's anybody, it's the New Jersey people, okay? Sal's old gang. And they trying to make y'all fight so we don't have to fight, okay? So Rock say, I'm not fighting for you. Stefano say, hey, slow your roll. Then slow your roll. Because if you hadn't fucked up with Quan, then you wouldn't be in this mess. Let the streets tell it. He working with Unique now. Well, how would Stefano know that Unique working with Quan? When did you find out that Unique was working with Quan? Because whenever you found out, then you already knew that Unique was alive. Okay? And I'm quite sure to say something that you told her over the phone. But then he also let her on. Quan is going to side with Unique and make all the Asians work with him. The Asians stick together, okay? Rock is like, well, they all family. Now, think about it, they all family, so yeah. So Rock is like, that ain't fucking happening. He not finna touch them damn restaurants. Girl, it's already happening. Bring your confidence down. Bring your confidence down. It's right in front of your face. You just too confident to see it. And he tells her, I suggest you stay strapped. Keep your feelings out the way for Unique, though. Okay, why? When he said, because she said, my feelings ain't never anywhere, or don't worry about my feelings or something like that. When he said, famous last words, that made me think that he killed Fame. Gave me a quick flash, like, did he kill Fame? Quickly, I thought that, okay? So, they're just like, who shot JR? Did y'all watch Dallas back in the day? And they did like a whole thing about who shot JR, just trying to figure out who the fuck it was. That's what this whole Fame situation is giving me. Who shot JR? So Marvin, his solution to the thing is to lay Unique out, okay? If we not laying him out, we need to share the blocks with him. And Rock agreed that Quan may do just what Stefano said. So if they not splitting the work or taking out Unique, then Marvin's next suggestion is we need to fucking take out Stefano. That's gonna be the answer. Because if we take out Stefano, then the people over in New Jersey ain't got no reason to fight us over here. They so dumb. All of them. This ain't even about the Italians. Unique is using them, not the other way around. So, speaking of dumb, Kanan go to his storage locker. The lock is not broken off, but just opened, clearly saying somebody has been there. And I'm like, if you finna leave the doggone lock, why not lock it back to make it look like nobody was there? But OC was in no position to see where Kanan came from. Okay? Normally Kanan walks down a long hallway inside the building, but this time he walks down just the corridor where you can still see outside. But yeah, OC was in no position to see exactly where Kanan came from. He was, like I said, Kanan was behind a closed door, but he came out, and OC was in his fucking gremlin. But somehow he got inside the lock. He even opened up the combination on the school lock. It was laying on the ground, and all Kanan's money is gone. Why you just didn't remove the whole trunk? You literally sat there and bagged shit up. You left the locks, so he already knew somebody had been in there. Why you just didn't take the whole fucking trunk? Oh, this is OC. He ain't nothing but 2 feet tall. Probably ain't got no short people like that. Probably got some upper body strength. Anyway, Marvin decided that Juke needed to keep the piece, the gun that she had been using, because the block is hot. And she needs to protect herself. But by no means is this an invitation for her to get into the game. She's like, I'm already in, coach. Okay, I live here. He was like, nah, you don't live here. I live here. This shit ain't cool. So when all of this is over, I'm gonna need that piece back, understand? So he leave out and she hit the street and head to the club. I don't give a fuck what happened in the club scene. But anyway, the only thing that really concerned me about the club is she went into this club with a gun and you could clearly see the damn bouncer at the door patting people down. Anywho. So, Be Realer and Kenyatta, they about to hit up Gafflin's spot. Remember, we talked about it at the end of the last episode. I'm only going to mention it twice here. Nobody was supposed to be at home. This is supposed to be a snatch and grab. But Kenyatta is like, if this money is in a safe or in a vault like you said it is, we ain't got motherfucking magic fingers. We need to have somebody home in order to get into it. So, Be Realer backed out, okay? He backed out because he was afraid that Gafflin was going to notice him. So they left his ass in the van, but they took the keys. I was like, this is all about to go bad. You already know, right? Sometimes this show is so predictable. The next thing we know, the house is lit up like the fucking 4th of July. And I was like, well, damn. If he did, you surely ain't getting into the safe or the vault, okay? Apparently, they said that Gafflin was strapped too. He shot one of the guys, but they ended up in turn killing Gafflin and his wife. Now, my thing was, did y'all get any of the money? Y'all so worried about Samir. Did you get the money? That's what I want to know. Anyway, Stefano called Marvin over for a little man to man, because a woman can't handle the business like men do, right? So he let him know that Sal's gang is the one that's backing Unique. And he like, okay, well, they paying you back then. That's what this is all about. And he was like, true. But Rock is the one that messed up the money and messed up the product, fucking around with Quan. So her competitor, who is now partners with Quan, wants her motherfucking dead, and he taking all her business. Rock ain't gonna be able to get no work in for another month. The doggone Afghan and pushed it back some more. Marvin say, because he's a man, no, not Marvin. Sal say that it's bad for business for him to get into it with the New Jersey people. So the best way out of this whole mess is to push Rock out and put Marvin in charge. Now, Marvin ain't like that shit. Marvin say, you know what? I don't want that, okay? And you don't ever speak on my sister like that again. Don't even put her name in your motherfucking mouth again. Stefan was like, you put me between the rock and the hard place here. Marvin say, no sir. You the one that took out Sal, not us. He's like, hell no, we took out Sal. Best remember that, sir. We're going to talk about this again later, so he better up and bounce. So we go to the studio, and they waiting on Geflin to come in. And B Real was like, what you mean they waiting on Geflin to come in? He said he was coming in. Yeah, he coming in. Well, apparently, the house that Geflin owns was being rented out to two people. And those two people are the ones who are dead. Y'all so motherfucking dumb. Y'all asses hit the wrong house. He don't even live in that fucking house. So they probably didn't get no damn money, okay? And B really just looking stupefied. What was the point of that? What was the... Well, while Kanan was out looking for OC, he rode up on his mama, slipping some cash to the cops. Now, earlier, I had suspicions of Rock being involved with Fame's death. So Kanan now has that same suspicion. He and Juke had just sat there and came to the conclusion that if somebody got the cops to kill Fame, that they had to pay them. And now he sees his mama paying the cops. So am I right? Is Kanan right? We don't know. Because what is Rock doing don't make no sense. Why would she be paying the cops? Was that the beauty salon? Remember she opened up the beauty shop and she had supposed to pay them, but I thought she wasn't paying them? Or unless she is paying the cops to go take out Unique's corner boys. That's the only thing I could see her paying the cops for. But we didn't see any raids in this episode. So Unique rolled into Snaps and Pops it. I was like, did they call him? I mean, they did say that his resurrection would be a curse or a blessing in disguise. So this can't be a chance meeting. Crazy thing is, everybody know how to reach Unique now. They put the word out. I am back. And everybody just like, oh my goodness. Because when he walked in, they was like, my God. The third coming of Jesus right here, right? And this nigga think he Jesus. That's the crazy part. Well, we go over to the Thomas's house, and I think Rock is about to play God. Her and her brothers talk about the fact that she asked them to off her, and then Brock was like, well, why she didn't ask me? And Marvin was like, because you want to see her suffer, okay? And at the same time, they all decided to let go some of the blame because there were some good things that she has done in her life, and maybe being a bad mama was the best that she could be. Okay, so Lou left her and Marvin alone after he found out that they still didn't have any more information on what they're going to do with Unique. Rock say, we going to stand down. That's pretty much what the word is. But after he leave, Marvin say, Unique is back by Sal's old game. And he got that tea from Stefano. She skipped all the info about who the fuck Unique is backed by just to say, test his loyalty and question his loyalty again. Okay, he let her know it wasn't my business to tell you. I don't answer to you. I don't live for you. I have a life outside of you, Raquel. Okay, then he tell her, you know what, go in there and handle mama. Okay, it would probably be good for you to go ahead and do it. And he let her know that the nurse was out back and that she's alone, giving her to go ahead and to put their mama to sleep. And just like that, Kanan, he tells Crystal, because he's at home, he says, I know who killed Famous. it was my mama. I kind of believe she had something to do with it, right? But if it's true, me and Miss Honey was having an Instagram convo about it. That means half my theory is right, because I've always said that Kanan was going to be the one to kill his own mama, right? But Miss Honey showed me a clip from the original Power that I completely forgot about. When Kanan first got out of jail, he told Ghost and Tommy that he had just left from visiting his mama, implying that his mother is still alive. So if that's the case, then I'm wrong about Kanan killing his mama back then. But I could be half right. I don't know. Anyway, unless Kanan wasn't telling the truth when he talked to Tommy and Ghost, or it could be an editing error on their part that they forgot, like I forgot that he made that statement. But let's be honest, Rock has already killed one of his best friends. She took out one of her own best soldiers, Scrap, her baby father, Howard. She had a long list of people that she just off just because she can. Her mom's about to be the next person. So why not Fame? It could be. But she did tell him when she came out of the apartment that she would take out Fame too. She told Fame that to his face. But anyway, everybody seems to be, oh, what the fuck? Something flying in my room. Lord Jesus, what is that? Hold on. It's a look like a fruit fly. Where the fuck it come from? I'm not good at killing shit, y'all. Where did it go? Now see, this is why I'm not good at killing. Where the fuck it go? Where it come from? Have y'all been seeing this fruit fly flying around my face this whole time? Anyway, where was I at? Something about Rock. Rock was talking about killing my mom, and I'm trying to kill this fruit fly. Okay, so in this episode, everybody is getting everything wrong. Okay, Unique, he blaming Rock, saying that she used Ronnie to kill him. Rock is blaming Stefano and Sal's beef for what's happening to her right now. Stefano is blaming Rock and Quan. B. Rilla had the wrong damn house with Geflin, and now Kanan is assuming it was his mom that took out Fame. That might be true, but like I said, everybody is acting mad dumb right now. That's a New York term. I'm not from New York, but I heard a lot of New York people say mad dumb all the time. I think it's so cute when they say that. Anywho, well, I think Rock finally stopped blaming her mother, okay? And she granted her last wish and injected the morphine into her mother's veins, or into the IV. And Rock, she actually shed some real tears. She said some real tears as she sat down and held her mother's hand as she passed away. Now, as we opened up this episode, Kanan was starting to talk, and he said, you know what, I'm not going to even say nothing. Sometimes there's words that can't be said. And at the end of this episode, we didn't get the ending narration from Kanan either. It just went out with a sad song that they probably heard at a funeral or something like that. Well, Mama Joyce is gone. Bye. Like I told you, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. And I wonder how Lou gonna feel. Because Marvin is the one that told her to do it. I wonder how Lou is gonna feel about that. He was the first one to say that he was offering up forgiveness, or understanding at least. Okay. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being here. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. See y'all in the next video. Peace.